Usually we would have a few rounds of networking before speaker one. However, and I find this so interesting, I delayed it. It's already 11 o'clock, which is really interesting. So it's clearly something unconscious going on here. Anyway, so I'm going to speak now, and then you'll carry on networking. So, my talk today is on what is holding you back. Has anyone guessed it?
You've got an audience downstairs.
Oh, come in. What is holding you back? Clue, it's in the title. You. So, just the back story to me giving this talk. I've been running this networking group for 1 year. Woo! And I've had 2 speakers at every event. That's 24 speakers. Have I spoken at my own event? No. However, I'll just give a little bit of backstory. Does anyone know Caroline Miss? Caroline Miss? I went to listen to her. She's incredible. What a character. She told us off. She sat in front of this, stood in front of this audience. She told us off. She was like, she is strict, she's scary. She said, the world is in a state. The world is in a bad state. Like, you lot have to start listening to your wisdom and your guidance. Like now. Like, it's not a joke. You have to start listening and you have to start acting on what you hear. So she just told us a brief story of how she's a medical intuitive, a mystic. She told us a brief story about she was traveling along and it was very early in the morning, there were no cars around, and she heard, slow down now, just very quietly, slow down now. So she, because a red van is about to jump the light, slow down now. And she slowed down, and in front of her, whoosh, this red van went like that, and she would be dead. She'd be dead. She'd be sure be dead if she hadn't listened. So from that moment, she was just like, right, this guidance is it's in the car with me as well, like it's everywhere. You better start listening, you better start acting on it. So straight away, I think to myself, hold a minute, and I'm in this business, and like, why didn't I notice? Every month, at least, maybe not right from the beginning, but at least 6 months, be one of the speakers at the networking. You've got one speaker, oh, who's the other speaker? Like, you, it should be you. And what's interesting is, and this is like, that we hold ourselves back, we're so clever, like our intellect is so clever, so I'd come up with, oh, but I'm in pregnancy, like no one's interested in pregnancy, like they're not pregnant, why would I speak? And but there's so many really exciting speakers, and like I speak so much anyway, and la la la. But this is the beauty, like this voice, and we all know it, and I'm sure that you've all got something in mind, but there's been something saying, oh, come on, and it's really quiet, it just like speaks quietly, doesn't even demand, it's quite patient, just like, just do this, just do this. So anyway, after listening to her, I was like, right, I'm putting myself down as a speaker. I already have my photo from Louise that I just got a photo shoot. I'm like, right, I'm putting myself down. And I didn't even have the title. And then a couple of days later, the title just dropped in, what is holding you back? I was holding myself back. Like, what? Follow the guidance, for goodness sake. And what Caroline said is, as you follow the guidance, it gets stronger and stronger. And then the knowing becomes, like, that's us, that's our inner wisdom, whatever you want to call it, your wisdom, your higher self, your, I don't know, whatever it is, it's for our absolute highest, best good. And like, ignore it at your peril. Like, she really gave us a good talking to. So, that is why I'm speaking today. What is holding you back, just to be clear, as what I'm talking about you, is your belief system, right? Our belief system that completely cages us in, that is invisible to us. I mean, it's just absolutely fascinating. that it's almost like we're living, we think that we're seeing the world as it is, but we've all got these tinted glasses on, basically. All of us have our own. That's why all of us are going to have a completely different experience of this same networking group. So we've got this tinted lens in, and inside that lens, there are all our core beliefs, or all our what we believe about ourselves, what we believe about others. It's all in there, and then we look out at the world and we think that's true. Of course it's not true, it's completely skewed. But we can't actually get out of that. Like we can only see through our perception. So what I want to kind of drill home today is the limiting thoughts are called limiting thoughts because they limit us, right? They keep us small, they keep us safe. Most of the time they've been created by really sick, sometimes big traumas, and we know the big traumas that have happened to us, and a ton of beliefs have been developed from those big traumas. But also the tiny traumas, like when your teacher said to you at 5 years old, right, stand up, speak in front of the class, everyone laughed. You form a belief in that moment. I find this fascinating. We don't choose beliefs. A belief gets formed in that moment. It's not safe to speak. It's not safe to be seen. That belief, like, be quiet from now on. And then we carry that into adulthood. And we little do we know that it was just like that stupid teacher who said that one thing. And so these are all these limiting beliefs that in the end cage us. Like, we are big, we are enormous, we are huge. And that's why it feels so uncomfortable to be caged in by these limiting beliefs. It doesn't feel comfortable, and it's because we are big. And the limiting beliefs are keeping us small. And it's wisdom because it's keeping us safe, right? It's like we don't want to risk it again. It's like suicide. We don't want to risk that humiliation or the little traumas that made us feel so bad, so we don't want to risk it. So we stay small, we stay safe. But we can't deny that we're feeling this. We're feeling this. It doesn't feel right because it's almost like wearing a jumper that's too small for you. You're just like, oh, this is uncomfortable because we're big. We're humongous. So I just want to sort of bring your attention to that. And I find it really interesting because we talk about unconscious thoughts, right? Oh, sorry, people have asked to record and I'm just totally not even stopping. People talk about beliefs being unconscious, like, yeah, there's it, and it's to a certain extent it's true. We don't necessarily know, but like what I find so fascinating is when I sit with clients for that first hour and a half session, 2 hours if they'll let me, it's like just so juicy. Our beliefs are in plain sight. It's amazing. And now I notice it all the time when I'm talking to people. What comes out of our mouth is like, they're in plain sight. And I just collect them all, collect all the limiting beliefs. I see exactly what they believe about themselves, what they believe. There's no unconscious about it. It's all there for us to see. And then I take them through a 6-week process of belief coding, which is what I've recently trained in. I've been a psychotherapist for 15 years. Recently I came across all this new stuff which I never really paid much attention to, and I was pushed kind of by the universe for people saying, come on, I'm about to give birth, I haven't got time to sit and talk to you, like I need this big on now. So it prompted me to look for faster approaches, and this is when I came across this belief coding. It is incredible. It gets to the exact root. It gets you back to that teacher who said that thing. You're like, seriously? Like, that's made me have that core belief of not feeling good enough my whole life? Like, that teacher? It's insane. You get back to the exact point where it happens, and it's all perception. That's all it ever was. It's a belief that was formed, and you can change it and we dissolve it. And then I see at the end the clients walk out, with all of that gone, and they're like this, like rather than like this. So that is my work. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about, just to demonstrate. I used to be somebody who just looked out at the world and, okay, this is what the world is. I had no idea I was even thinking. Like, who thinks that they're thinking? It's invisible. It's invisible. You're seeing through this, so you're not seeing reality ever. Where I saw it first, and why I fell in love with pregnancy and birth, and why I fell in love with the mind, because it's so incredible, is I was petrified of childbirth my whole life. At the age of 30, I'm lying, 30 years. At the age of 30, so I put off getting pregnant for a long time because I was so scared. Everyone thought I couldn't have children. It was just because I was scared. That's what this book is about. There's actually a thing, tocophobia. It's a thing. And I'm supposedly the tocophobia expert because I did research on it back then when no one had even heard of it. But it's really like the phobia of childbirth. Anyway, so scared, postpone. Suddenly my period's late. I'm like, oh, it can't be. So I'm in the hospital. My contraception was so tight. It's like there's no way. And I do the pregnancy test in the toilet, and I'm not expecting anything. And I just whatever, wee on the stick, but not thinking like that. And I just glance, and I see the two pink lines. And I'm like, it was the only way I can explain it now is like shock, because I totally was not expecting it. Shock of seeing that I was pregnant. That lens, which I was looking at the world with, which said birth is torture. There's this, don't try and tell me anything different. All these natural birth people say la la la, just like go in water and whatever, which I've now become one of them. I was like, you're lying, you've forgotten, I don't know, like it's torture, finished. That lens that that was reality to me. It fell for that split second, I believe through shock, right? Or the grace of God. In that moment of that belief system falling for a split second came the most, it's a once in a lifetime thing, actually it's twice in a happened in my birth, was like this whoosh of, it's a feeling, it's like no one can argue it, no one can tell me, oh, you can't argue it, a feeling of everything's going to be fine, you're not going to be knocked out like you thought, you're not going to have the cesarean that you always thought you were going to have, I was just like, knock me out or whatever. Everything's going to be fine, you're going to give birth normally and naturally, and everything's going to be fine. That was the feeling, and that was the sort of message, and then it was gone, and then I was back to anxiety. I was like, oh my god, what am I going to do, what am I going to do? But the point was that I had seen something, it was life-changing, I'd seen something. So it was very confusing to me, because I was like, I obviously then was scared again, but it had lost its edge. I was like, nothing's true, basically, that was the message, nothing is true. You know, if that, what I was so sure of, that I was so petrified, and I thought, oh right, the world isn't like what I think it is. Like, it really challenged like everything. And I would urge you to look in your life where you feel, where there's just some struggle, because for sure, there's just thinking around it, and you've got extra thick lens, you've got an extra thick lens around those things, like that's all it is. And that can drop in any moment. So really that's what got me onto all of this. But even if you think, like I hear it, like I say, when I'm with my clients, I hear it, but even when, you know, when I'm talking to normal people, I can't help but pay attention. You start thinking about the beliefs that you have. It's hard to get clients, right? This energy behind the universe is going to go by the law of your beliefs. It can't do anything else. It actually wants to give you everything, like abundance and money and everything is here for us. Like it can't help it. If you've got those beliefs that say, I need to work really hard to make money, well, guess what? Okay, if you say so. So well, you go and work really hard, and then you'll get the money. See what I mean? So it's I catch on to new ones all the time. I don't understand social media. I'll never get clients because I'm not on social media enough. Lie. It's not true. It's not a story, Instagram experts. It's not true. It's just not true. I see it all the time. Energetically, my clients come to me. Yeah, not on anything. And or like. Yeah, there's lots around money, isn't there? Like all the stuff that we picked up from our parents, money doesn't grow on trees, you know, you think you can just do nothing and get money. Yes, you can do nothing and get money. Here's a brilliant one. Everyone has the belief, I never win anything. Or so many people, I never win anything. It's such a thing that you hear. I win raffles all the time. Because I'm like, I know I'm going to win. I just know I'm going to win. And I'm like, brilliant, what's the prize? Yeah, okay, yeah, one. Now I'm starting to doubt it a bit because I keep showing off to people. I'm not going to work anymore. Anyway, just to tell my birth story quickly. Where are we up to? Oh my God. Okay. My birth story was this is really what is holding you back. You, me. I disappeared during my birth. I wasn't there. That's why it was just the most incredible experience of my entire lifetime. When I talk about not being there, that commentary, the really annoying commentary that's in our voice, it's in our head 24/7. Not the wise one, not that one. We can listen to that one. the really annoying one that judges everything, that criticises everything, that's mostly like criticises ourselves, and you know that annoying one. I often think of it as like the football commentators. They're annoying, right? That one's there, like shut up. The game is neutral. The game isn't going to change from the commentator saying anything. So my commentator was gone, and then it's like, okay, my birth was not ideal. I was stuck in an office for 2 hours while they were looking for the antibiotics that I supposedly needed. Like usually, my voice would be going crazy about like, what do you mean you can't find the antibiotics? Like, what the hell is going on? There was no voice, so like everything was just fine. I was put in an office for 2 hours in the hospital. Anything that happened was just fine, and in that space, everything's just neutral. Everything, it was blissful. It was utterly blissful for myself to be gone. It's ironically, it's the most myself that I've ever been in my entire life. That's why I became addicted to giving birth. And I have 4 boys that I can't cope with. I tried to have a fifth as well. Anyway, so what is my point here? Do I have a point? I'm going to give you some practical points because it's useful. I would just urge you to awareness. Awareness is so key. Just watch what comes out of your mouth. It's hilarious when you start catching on to it. I've noticed that I keep saying that there's always something. It's just a typical thing. My mum says it. There's always something. So something will have as in there's always something that goes wrong. And guess what? There is always something. You know, things are going smoothly for a bit, like, what's it going to be? Yeah, there's always something. So just silly things like that. Like, just watch what's coming out of your mouth, because you are creating your entire reality with every moment. And like, I also love what do they say? Seeing is believing. People are like, I believe it when I see it. Seeing is believing. My son is very much a scientist. Yeah, I believe when I see it. None of your weird stuff is true. Actually, believe, yeah. Proof is in pudding. And yet, seeing is believing. Actually, believe it, and then you'll see it. That is the truth. That's insane. Because we're so used to saying seeing is believing. No, believing is seeing. But believing is seeing. Believe it, and then you will see it. Believe that you can have a painless birth, seriously, and then you will see it. Like, it's fascinating how much you can push the boundaries. So awareness, just watch what comes out of your mouth, and even encourage friends to sort of say back to you what you've said. It's fascinating. There's no unconscious thoughts. It's all there in plain sight for us to see. My son is doing GCSEs at the moment. I keep telling him, take letters at the first point of each thing, right? And so I was like, yeah, I've got to do that. And it's TLC, which is tender, love and care. So T is true. T is what is true. That is the first practical tip, and that comes with awareness. TLC. The second point is listening. Listen to that voice. Like, I hope I have tried to drum in what Caroline drummed into us. There is an incredibly wise voice within. It is the quiet flute, right? And the brass band thinking is much louder, right? But that is what is standing in our way. We don't quite listen to that quiet voice that came every month. It just was very quiet and very patient. You know, be one of the speakers. Like, it doesn't, you know. And it's those really quiet, like, that's it. That's the gold. That's the gold. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. And like, act on it. Act on it immediately. C is cultivate an open mind. So I just think it's really important that people realise that there is infinite possibility of how you experience anything. Like, there really is. My son isn't in school at the moment. He's been at home for 6 weeks with anxiety. Right? It could be terrible. It has been terrible at times. But like, if I just decide, hold on a minute, there's infinite possibility. Really, this is so bad? Going to the park every day and having a really nice time, eating ice cream. Really? Is it that bad? It's just like, there's infinite possibility. There's infinite possibility to how the whole thing can play out. People telling me you've got to go to tribunal, it's going to be this and that and that. Like, no, actually, maybe, no. Do you know what I mean? There's no, don't block yourself in with beliefs, that's the point. And I can't do a talk on, oh no, where's the time gone? I can't do a talk on belief without the 4 minute mile. Do people know the 4 minute mile?
Yes.
Ah, isn't it great? So just quickly for people who don't, the time is gone. Oh yeah, I'm quite on time. Okay, so the 4-minute mile. I'm timing myself. Get the networking in. So the 4-minute mile. Everyone agreed that no one could run a mile in 4 minutes. It was agreed, it was believed, it was a fact. Scientists said it, doctors said it, sportsmen said it. This is impossible. Don't even try, you won't manage. No one did manage. Along came Roger Bannister, 1939 was it? But I think he was a scientist and a sportsman. And he said, no, actually, I can do it. And he did it, and he did it. But the most fascinating point about this story is, after he did it, suddenly this one did it, and this one did it, and this one did it, and this one did it all around the world, and now it's not unusual to be able to run the 4-minute mile. That is mind-blowing. All that was needed was hold on a minute, we can change reality. This is actually possible. And all of a sudden, people didn't get better, they just burst through the limits of what was possible. And so I will leave you with that, which is our mind is the limit. You are the limit. You are the limit, like not the sky. And yeah, don't let it hold you back. And then I couldn't resist, sorry. So just shake out those beliefs and get rid of them. Okay, so find your next partner, people.